Hi, I'm Jennifer of CelticKnotCrochet.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make the cable holly leaf necklace. It's a very easy and quick project if you're used to working with post stitches. If this is the first time, don't worry, I'll show you each step of the way. You'll see there are 3 holly leaf sections here, and they're all made the exact same way. So once you figure out the first one, you just make 2 more like it along with the holly berries. Then you glue on some matching felt for stability and a nice backing, and then simply thread on some clear faceted crystal beads, and I'll show you also how to put on the necklace clasp at the end. This uses Symphonia yarn by Omega. Comes in wonderful colors. It's about a size 3 yarn and 100% cotton. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you with this larger yarn so you can see the stitches better, is according to the instructions, and all the other details about supplies you'll find at CelticKnotCrochet.com. You're going to chain 4, and then you're going to work 3 double crochets into that very first chain you made. Double crochets are yarn over, put your hook in, yarn over, pull through that stitch, then you have 3 loops on your hook, then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Do that 2 more times. So because I went all in that one chain, it creates this triangular shape, which is what we want for the bottom point of the holly leaf. Then the next step is to turn your work, and now we're working on the back of this row, and I'm going to chain 2. Then I'm going to skip the next stitch. Now as you see, this stitch is right below the chain 2, so I'm not working in that one because the chain 2 works on top of it. So I'm skipping this next stitch right here, and now I'm going to work around this one and this one, and I'm going to do a front post treble crochet. So front post means that I'm not going in the top of the stitch as normal. I'm going around the whole stitch like this. And treble means that I yarn over twice. So yarn over twice, put your hook around the post of the stitch. You go from the front to the back and back out to the front again. And now I complete the stitch as usual. Yarn over, pull through the stitch. Then I have 4 loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And now I have this long stitch that pops out because I went around the post. And I'm going to do that again around this chain 3 that counts as a double crochet. So yarn over twice, hook around the chain 3. Now I have those 4 loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, through 2, and through 2. So now you see I have 2 long treble crochets, and they're at a slant because I skipped and worked farther away than I should have, but I did that on purpose. Now I'm going to go back and work over here to create a cross. So I'm going to do more front post trebles. So I'm going to yarn over twice, and now I'm going to go around this stitch and around this stitch. So I skipped these 2 at the beginning, and now I'm going to go back. So yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2, through 2, through 2. And as you can see, now I've got a stitch going this way. And I have to do 1 more. And can you see the stitch that has not been worked around yet? I worked around this one, and this one, and this one right here. The second one across, I have not worked around yet. So that's the last one. So yarn over twice again, hook from front to back and back out to the front, yarn over, pull up, so now I'm wrapped around that post, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And here we have the first cable cross. So here are the 2 treble crochets going that way, and there were 2 treble crochets underneath. So that completes row 2. Now I'm going to turn according to the directions, and now I'm going to work in each stitch across. Now you can see I'm adjusting it here. I'm pulling up the ones that we just did so they are at an even row with the ones we did before, because sometimes when you cross stitches, some of them get tucked down like that, and it's helpful after your round or after you complete every few to adjust them with your fingers and stretch the fibers a little. And now you can see they're all going right there across. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes that helps you see where you're supposed to go, because when you start crossing it can be hard to see your stitches. So here I am on the back side of that. The directions say to chain 2, so that counts as my first stitch of the round. So now I'm going to do a back post double crochet. So back post is similar to the front post, except instead of the front, I'm now going to work around the back side. Here are those stitches that I just completed, and I'm going to work around those. So the first one I'm already all set because of my chain 2. So I'm going to do a yarn over, since that's what you do before a double crochet. Then I'm going to take my hook and go around that post, but from the back. So from the back to the front, around that post, and back out to the back. And now you can see my hook is inserted around that post. Then I yarn over and pull through to lock onto that stitch. And now I have 3 loops on my hook. Then I yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that was a back post double crochet. I'll do another one. Here is the next stitch. I can see here's the one I just worked around, and it's attached right here. If I pull, I can see it's attached right here to this next one. So I yarn over, put my hook in from the back, around, and back out, yarn over, pull through to lock it onto that stitch, then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And I'll do one more. Yarn over, hook from the back to the front, around to the back again, yarn over, lock it on, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that completes round row 3. Then I'm going to turn it again. So now I know with this chunky yarn it doesn't look exactly like the original, but you can see now here I did some post stitches and made it pop, and then now it's being carried this way. So here's the twist. And I thought the twist would look nice for the holly leaf, since the holly leaf has the points on alternating sides. Okay, so now we've completed 3 rows, and as you see in this 3rd row, the back post double crochets, you can see them right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is that chain 2 that I started with. So I have 4 stitches to work into. So according to the directions, I chain 2, and basically I'm going to do the same thing I did for row 2. I'm going to skip these first 2 stitches. So the directions say chain 2, skip the next stitch, which is this one, because this one is the first stitch that we are working out of, so that doesn't count. Skip this stitch, and now I'm going to work around the post of this one and this one by doing a front post treble. Yarn over twice, hook from front to back and back out to the front, yarn over, lock it on. Now yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now I have a tall treble crochet that's popping out and leaning over. I'm going to do one more around this last stitch. Yarn over twice, hook around, lock on, yarn over, pull through two, and through two. So there I have the two trebles, and here are the two that I've skipped. So now I'm going to go back and work around those two that I've skipped by doing the same stitch, just in a different place. So yarn over twice, hook around this post that was below the chain 2 that I started with for that round. And here's this one right here. So I have 1, 2, and 3 that I've already done. Here's the last one that I haven't worked into. Yarn over twice, front to back, back to front again, lock on, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Now here's the adjustment time. Here's the 2 trebles going across, and then there are the 2 in the back. I can pull those up so their tops are even with the ones I just did. That helps them cross better. And then our last row, this is only 5 quick little rows. You're going to chain 2 again and turn it, and we're going to work in those next 3 stitches. The chain 2 counts as our first stitch of the round, and it's coming out of the first one, so we don't even have to worry about that one. And now what we're going to do is a back post double crochet cluster. That is a mouthful. So basically it's the same thing as before that we did on row 3, but I'm going to gather all the stitches up so that I can make a point at the other side of the leaf. So you start by yarn over. I'm going to back post around, so hook to the front, around the post, and out to the back. Then I'm going to yarn over, lock on, and I have 3 loops on my hook, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through only the first 2. And then I'm going to leave these loops on the hook. Then I'm going to repeat that again with the next stitch right here. Yarn over, hook from back to front, around and out to the back again, yarn over to lock on, then yarn over, pull through 2, leave that loop there. Do it one more time. Here's my last post. Yarn over, hook front, around the post, out the back, yarn over, lock it on, then yarn over, pull through 2, and now I should have 4 loops on my hook, and I'm going to yarn over and pull through all of them, and then I chain 1 to close it up. And this is the wrong side. This here is the right side with all the cable twists. Let's see, this one looks a little funny there. Okay. So there is the holly leaf with the cables, and it works best if you, there we go, now you can see it a little bit better there. If you let it go, it tends to untwist because it's such a small piece. So that's another reason for the felt on the back. So you would make 2 more like this, weave in your ends, although you can leave this top end on one of them nice and long because you're going to sew them together just with a yarn needle and matching yarn. You could use sewing thread too if you'd like. And then you're going to add these little berries. I'll show you how to make those. So to make the berry, you just need to make 6 single crochets in an adjustable ring. I have a whole video on how to do an adjustable ring, so you can find the link to that in the description below, but I'll show you right now really quickly. Wrap the yarn around, pinch up at the top, put your hook through the ring you made, grab the yarn, pull through, then hold this very carefully and make a chain 1. And now we just work right into the ring and I do 6 single crochets. So that's 2, 3, oops, missed my loop on that one. So that's 3 single crochets, 4, 5, 6, so it would look something like that. They're all inside this big loop, and then you pull the tail and that cinches up the hole, and as you can see it's still not a circle, so I go into the first stitch I made over here, put my hook in, yarn over, pull through the stitch and through the loop on my hook, and that's a slip stitch. Pull the center really tightly, and then for the berries on this necklace I push it out a little bit more like that. So normally when you do an adjustable ring you want a nice flat circle, but since these are berries and I want them to pop, I push it around itself like that, so it looks more like a little button, and you can see from the side it's not flat. And all it takes is just adjusting, and when you cut your yarn tail and have these ends, you can use your yarn needle to close it up even more. And then you would sew those on as well, either with matching yarn or with some red sewing thread, just right on top of the holly leaves. And then, as I mentioned before, I just laid the holly leaves down on a piece of felt like this, and then with my glue gun put some glue underneath, then pressed it down on top of the felt, and then once the glue dried I just cut the felt around it, because it's a very irregular shape on the back. So the last part, you'll want to have a jump ring, some crochet thread, several beads, and it depends on how long you want your necklace to be, because this is just a pendant. So however long you want your necklace is how many beads you need. In the instructions on my website it gives all the details for the size of the bead and how many you would need to make it the length I made mine. But you can make it however long or short. You can make it a choker or you can make it really long. So you need the beads and the thread, and then you need another jump ring, which are these just large jewelry rings that you can buy at any craft store, and a necklace clasp. And I'll show you how to do all this part of the necklace. Okay, so how to do the finishing touches on this necklace. You will want, I thought that using the cotton crochet thread size 10 would work nicely. I'm using Aunt Lydia's metallic 10. So it's white thread with silver metallic in it. Just thought that might make the beads sparkle that much more. And then I like to use this instead of a beading needle. You would find it in with the toothpaste and toothbrushes and dental floss, because it's used for people that need to thread their dental floss through braces and or dentures. So they're about 50 for a couple bucks and they work great. So I use it just like any old needle. Thread the thread on there, and I did in my design, I did a large bead, not as large as this, but this is so you can see it better, and then a small 6-0 seed bead in between. Add some interest when you have alternating sizes, even though they're the same color. And I just did that until it measured the length I liked. When I got to the end, as you can see right here, I did several, just the seed beads, about 5 or 6 seed beads in a row. And that's because that's on the back of your neck, and you don't need to waste the pretty beads back there. Nobody can see them. Sometimes it's just more comfortable to have a small simple bead, and this way you can adjust the length. I think I had 10 here, and then when I held it up it made it actually a little too long, so I took half of them out. And as you can see, you need to do that on both sides so they're even. Oh, and the other thing I should mention that I'm forgetting to say is that I took a jump ring and I attached it right here, right through one of the stitches on the pendant. And then I threaded the thread through that, and I only did the threading for one side of the necklace. Then I attached the needle and threaded the other side of the necklace. So that way I was sure to have them right in the middle, and the beads are too big to go through the jump ring, so it acts as its own stopper, and I don't have to worry about it sliding and being uneven. So once you've threaded on all of your beads to the length that you would like, here are these 2 jump rings. I think these are about 6 or 8 millimeter jump rings, so they're a little bit on the larger side. I thread the yarn through there and then just tie a good knot. The hardest one is on the other side. The first one's always the easiest. So now you can see it just snuck out of there on me. Sometimes you have to, there we go. So, and I would do a couple knots right there. And then I take the yarn needle, here the flossing needle, I have a knot in there I need to get rid of. I would take this end about 1 inch or so, and when the beads are all the way there at the end, I don't want this yarn tail hanging out, and I don't want to clip it too close or it might undo its knot. So sometimes you just have to thread the needle through the beads first, like that, and then take the end of the thread, put it through the eye of the needle, and then pull the needle, I'm trying to do it so you can see, pull the needle through the beads, and as you can see, now that end is hidden. And I would carry this as far as I could, and then once there was some extra like that, then I'd cut it and it would disappear inside the beads. And that's how I would do that side and the other side the same way. The other side's just a little trickier because you want to make sure all the beads are nice and together, so you might have to take your time more on that end. But then I would end up with 2 ends with a jump ring, and then on one of them I would open the jump ring, let's see if you can see this, I open the jump ring, not pulling it apart but sliding it sideways like that, and then each necklace clasp comes with its own ring for attachment. Slide that on, then push the jump ring back together, and that's it. So it's very simple to do these basic jewelry techniques to finish your cable holly leaf necklace project. And again, this could be turned into a pin, or you could just decide to get a cord like was used for the mini mandala necklace like this, and just attach a jump ring like I showed you, and then thread the cord through and not have the beads. But I thought the beads added a nice touch to the all yarn pendant. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.